Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. Imagine a world where secrets are buried so deep, even the darkest corners of the internet can't keep them hidden forever. Today we reveal a shocking, spine-chilling video that has surfaced from the depths of the dark web. A hacker has leaked the full, uncut footage of Menglong's brutal torture and death, and this video was reportedly sold for a mind-blowing $100,000. The truth behind this horrifying betrayal will leave you stunned. But the real question is, why was this footage released now? What does it expose? And what does it mean for the entertainment industry? Keep watching as we uncover the truth behind this chilling revelation. Menglong, a name that once brought warmth to millions of fans worldwide. Known for his gentle nature and remarkable acting talent, you had the world at his feet. But beneath the glitz and glamour of fame, there was darkness. A darkness that would ultimately take his life. For months, the world speculated about his tragic end, but no one could have anticipated what was about to come. Today we reveal the truth. The full footage of his final hours, captured by a trusted companion and sold to the highest bidder for $100,000, is here, and it is far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. The leaked footage opens in near silence, except for the faint sound of shallow breathing, the kind that comes from a person balancing between life and death. Menglong appears restrained, his body trembling, covered in bruises that tell the story of hours, perhaps days of torment. The lighting is dim, almost theatrical, as if the perpetrators wanted to immortalize every flicker of pain across his face. From the very beginning, it is clear that what happened to him was not a sudden act of violence but a meticulously orchestrated assault, one that unfolded with a cruel rhythm designed to prolong his agony. Every movement, every blow appears calculated. His attackers strike with cold precision, not in rage but in complete control. There is no chaos in their violence, only order, and that is what makes it unbearable to watch. Yu's attempts to resist are feeble but brave. His hands twitch against the restraints, his body jerks as he tries to speak, perhaps to plead or to reason, but his voice never quite forms into words. The silence that surrounds him feels heavier than the pain itself. His captors move methodically, observing his reactions, ensuring that he never slips into unconsciousness. They want him aware, awake, and suffering. It is not simply the physical damage that devastates, it is the psychological cruelty behind it, the stripping away of dignity, of humanity, piece by piece. Forensic experts later confirmed what the footage makes horrifyingly clear. Every wound was intentional. The fresh lacerations on his body, the fractures across his ribs and skull, the pattern of impact marks, all point to a sequence of assaults that were designed, rehearsed, and executed with terrifying control. What this suggests is not spontaneous brutality but a performance of domination. The human body, once the vessel of his artistry, is transformed into an object of punishment, a canvas for the perpetrator's power. And yet, amid the brutality, there is something profoundly tragic. The quiet endurance of a man who refuses to surrender completely. In the faint rise and fall of his chest, in the fleeting tension of his muscles, there lingers a desperate will to survive. The scene is not only a record of violence, it is a haunting reflection of how far cruelty can go when stripped of empathy, and how the human spirit, even when shattered, still clings to the faintest thread of life. The next part of the footage drifts into an even darker abyss, one that transcends physical pain and ventures deep into psychological destruction. Menglong is shown trembling, his lips cracked, his breath uneven. The room feels colder, the air heavier, as though it too has become complicit in the cruelty unfolding before the camera. A hand appears in the frame, holding a small metallic cup filled with a dark, unidentifiable liquid. There is no hesitation in the movement, the intent is deliberate. The attacker forces the cup against Yu's mouth, and what follows is a desperate struggle between survival and submission. His body convulses as the liquid is poured down his throat. He gags, trying to resist, but he is too weak. The sound of choking fills the silence, sharp and human. A reminder that this is not a performance but a slow annihilation of will. Moments later, his body reacts violently. His muscles tighten, his breathing becomes erratic, and his eyes widen in confusion and pain. The camera captures every tremor, every shudder, as if the tormentors wanted the world to witness his suffering in perfect clarity. They laugh as he convulses, mocking his attempts to regain control, treating his pain as entertainment. It is not only the forced ingestion that horrifies, it is the deliberate observation of it, the way they study his reactions, fascinated by the breaking of another human being. Forensic experts would later speculate that the liquid could have contained toxins or chemicals designed to weaken the body and distort the mind. But the true horror lies not in the substance itself, but in what it symbolizes: the forced corruption of a man's body to extract what he refused to give willingly. Rumors later confirmed that you had swallowed a small encrypted USB drive containing sensitive information, evidence that could expose a network of exploitation. This act of defiance, his final attempt to protect the truth, became the very reason for his torment. The footage freezes for a moment on his face, pale and drenched in sweat, his eyes still open, still conscious. There is fear there, yes, but also a flicker of defiance. Even as his body betrays him, his spirit seems to resist, a quiet rebellion against the dehumanization he endures. That image lingers, a tragic testament to both his courage and his suffering. It is not merely a record of forced submission, but a haunting portrayal of a man whose silence became louder than any scream. The footage grows quieter, and yet the silence that follows is far more unbearable than the noise that came before. What unfolds next is not only an act of violence but the ultimate betrayal of trust. Menglong lies motionless, his body weakened by exhaustion and pain, his eyes glazed yet still searching for mercy that will never come. Around him, the perpetrators move with chilling calmness, not as frenzied criminals, but as people carrying out a task they have rehearsed 100 times. There is no hesitation in their gestures, no sign of remorse. The camera, steady and unflinching, records what should never have been seen: the deliberate mutilation of a human being reduced to an object, his suffering treated as a transaction. The brutality is beyond comprehension. What they take from him is not only his physical integrity but his dignity, his manhood, his sense of self. It is the ultimate act of domination, a method chosen precisely because it leaves the victim with no part of himself untouched by humiliation. This is not merely an attempt to kill him, it is an effort to erase him, to strip away his humanity piece by piece. The way his attackers move, the way they speak, reveals something deeply sinister. They are organized, methodical, perhaps even following orders. It is not chaos but execution. And then, a moment of devastating clarity emerges. One of the attackers, a woman whose voice trembles between fear and familiarity, calls him by name. For a fleeting second, recognition flashes across Menglong's face. Disbelief, confusion, heartbreak. It is in that instant the audience understands that this was not only torture. It was betrayal by someone he once trusted, someone who had stood beside him in the same glittering world of fame and art. The cruelty becomes more than physical. It is emotional devastation. Later revelations suggest that this woman, identified as a fellow actress, had been coerced into recording the assault, a pawn in a larger conspiracy that traded loyalty for survival. Whether out of fear or greed, her betrayal carved the deepest wound of all. In the final seconds of this sequence, Menglong's expression changes. There is no scream, no outburst, only a look of quiet disbelief, the silent heartbreak of a man who realizes that the world he believed in, the people he trusted, have all turned against him. That moment captures the essence of tragedy. Not death itself, but the destruction of faith, love, and human connection in the face of unimaginable cruelty. The final moments of Menglong's life are nothing short of tragic. The video shows his attackers preparing the scene to make his death appear as an accident. They rearrange furniture, wipe away blood, and set objects up to simulate a fall from a fifth-floor balcony. But forensic experts later confirm what we all feared. The injuries don't match the signs of a fall. The trauma is too severe. The blunt force injuries, the fractures, the impact wounds, all of these align with a deliberate assault, not an accident. This was no random tragedy. It was a murder, carefully orchestrated to cover up the truth. Now the footage is out in the world. It sparked global outrage and reignited a conversation about the cruelty and exploitation hidden within the entertainment industry. This leak isn't just about one man's suffering. It's about a systemic problem that has affected countless others in the industry. But it's not just a story of cruelty. It's a story of justice. This footage, though horrifying, is now the most vivid evidence of what Menglong endured. It's the proof that the world needed to see. If this story has shaken you to your core, you're not alone. This is just the beginning, and there's more to uncover. Don't miss out on the latest updates, in-depth analyses, and exclusive revelations. Subscribe to Update X24H now, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the truth. We're committed to bringing you the real stories, the untold truths, and the justice that's long overdue. Stay with us, and together, let's demand accountability and bring the truth to light. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Update X24H. Your voice matters. Let's make sure Menglong's story is never forgotten.